Inspired by Love is a podcast hosted by Rachelle Love, dedicated to promoting inspiration, hope, and giving a healthy dose of God's love for every aspect of life. Rachelle is a seasoned inspirational enthusiast who uses witty commentary and biblical truths for real-life solutions, offers business strategies, health and wealth tips, and self-love care. Unlock the power tools to dig deeper, discover your untapped potential, and live your best extraordinary life. Here's your host, Rachelle Love.
Okay, we are taping for Inspired by Love. Hello, and welcome to Inspired by Love. I'm your host, Rachelle Love, and I am so delighted to have my friend, Miss Bridgette Lewis. Woo, 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 woo. We need the clapping effects. I'm so happy that you could join us, and you are also known as the Bounce Back Coach.
Yeah.
Bridget helps women overcome personal and professional setbacks so they can heal and recover from life's challenges, obstacles, detours. She is an author, public speaker, and business coach. Bridget teaches women transitional strategies, tips, tools, and actionable steps they can use immediately to rebuild, redesign their lives, dreaming big while shifting forward, stepping over every roadblock. Today, Bridget is a best-selling author. Her book, From Pitfalls to Purpose, she boldly applies spiritual principles to help each person gain hope and healing by learning to do the work. Welcome, Bridget, to Inspire by Love. I know you have some juicy nuggets for our listeners, so we're going to dive right in, okay? So can you just tell us a snippet of your story, your background, kind of give the listeners a little sneak peek about who Bridgette Lewis is?
Oh my goodness. So first of all, I want to say thank you so very much for having me on your podcast show. I am just overjoyed and overwhelmed that you would just pick me to be on your podcast, Inspired by Love. And I really count it as a privilege to be a part of the amazing work that you're doing. And so with that being said, the road and the nuggets and the tips that I'm going to share, this is not something that I read in the textbook. This is something that I have lived and that I walked out. And so I'm in the trenches, just like you ladies and a few good men who are going to hear this story or see this Zoom, podcast. So everything I'm talking about, all the actionable steps, I have walked them out myself. And so I know that they work. I know that they are time tested. I know that they are real. And I would say this about a great leader. She knows, and I learned pretty early, a good leader knows when the old way is not working. She knows when to pivot, when to shift, and when to turn completely around. So with that being said, who am I? Before I was the bounce back coach and the reinvention strategist, I knew that I had a gift in me. I knew that I had a gift to speak. And I heard as a little girl that one of the things that I was called to do in the earth before it was a thing, I knew that I was called to inspire. I knew that I was called to uplift, and I knew that I was called to empower women to use the gifts that God put in them so they could be the best that they could be. But little did I know with that call, everything that's gonna come with that. Had I known what I was going to endure, I probably would have been running in the opposite direction to say, no, God, you're definitely not calling me to be the bounce back coach. And little did I know, before I really, really answered the call, little did I know that he was going to have to test me personally to see if I was going to be faithful. And so in order to reach one and teach one, you've got to go through your own lessons first. And so here I was, this little girl with a big gift of gab, a gift of communication. And I knew it the first time when I held a microphone at 6 years old, giving my Easter speech in church. And my first Easter speech. in church, and I remember my Sunday school teacher, Nathan Luss, I'll never forget her name. She told my late mother, she said, make sure that Miss Bridget learns her lines well. And my mom was an educator, and she said, you got to learn the lines, and you can't go up there with a little piece of paper.
Right.
I said, okay, mommy. So I learned my lines well, and with God giving me this gift of communications, and little did I know the stuff that I'd have to cut through in order to teach and reach others.
I think that's a great point to pivot on. I mean, we all are at the same point right now with the pandemic, with COVID-19.
Yes.
A lot of people have been displaced, lost jobs, lost loved ones, lost friends. I mean, this thing does not discriminate.
Right.
So people are really striving to understand how to bounce back. So the topic of this episode is bouncing back after COVID-19, or even during COVID-19, because we're still in it. So we want to give people actionable tools, tips, and strategies to overcome any obstacle. So can you tell us, what is bounce back coaching?
Okay. First of all, let me tell you what the word bounce back means. Okay. Bounce back means to return to a normal condition or state after a very traumatic or difficult event. And so I would say that the pandemic is beyond a difficult and an extreme event, because no one saw this coming, and we thought perhaps maybe 1 week or two, but here we are all the way in, I believe, the 3rd week of May, and we're still dealing with the pandemic and the ramifications of what we can and can't do, shelter at home and that kind of thing. And so the first thing that I would tell those individuals who are listening in and who are watching live is, first of all, you want to locate yourself during this pandemic. You want to locate where you are. Where are you financially? Let's talk about that.
Yes.
Where are you emotionally? Let's talk about that. Where are you mentally? Let's talk about that. And where are you physically? Let's talk about that. Where, when I think about the emotional part, you really got to come to grips with what has happened.
What has happened? Yes.
I think a lot of people are really in denial, like, okay, is this really happening? Does this continue to happen? And so now that I'm in it, what do I do? So with that being said, the first thing you want to do is look at what's in your hand, right?
Yes, that's what God would say. What's in your hand? Amen. What's in your hand?
What's in your hand? What can you work with right now, right?
So are you talking about specifically tools, expertise?
Tools, right. So what's in your hand? And I think with this pandemic, what I think a lot of CEOs and presidents of corporations and business owners are going to do is, now I think they're really going to look at the weakest link within their organization. I think there is going to be a lot of restructuring. There has already been a lot of restructuring, because now they're realizing it's like, hey, these hefty salaries that we were paying before, wow, we see that these 3 people can now do what the 12 other people were doing over here.
Exactly.
And they can do it remotely. So, wow, we need to see who's doing what where. So you want to look at what's in your hand. So one of the things that I would say to those that are listening in, you want to make sure that you really shore up whatever your skill sets are. If you've got the gap, you want to maximize that. If you are good at being a virtual assistant, you want to maximize that. If you thought about being a virtual assistant, but you were scared, listen, this is no time to pivot. This is no time to duck and hide. This is no time to run. This is the time to be bold. This is the time to speak up. This is the time to stand up, right?
I totally agree. Even for me in my own situation, I mean, I have experience, I have education, I have 2 master's degrees. So I had to look at myself. Number one, like you said, I had to evaluate where I was, and then I had to look at the tools. What am I creative? What are my skill sets?
Right.
Downloaded a few books, so I'm listening. I'm going to Audible, so maybe that's a tool someone can use. Take some online courses, download some books. I mean, really sharpen your skills. So when you do present yourself, you are top notch. I
Right.
think
You're really at top of mind when you said that. You made me think about even me as a coach. Guess what? I'm not only a coach, but guess what? I have 4 different coaches in 4 different areas. So this is the time. One of the actionable steps you can take, as you mentioned, listen to things on Audible, right?
Mhm.
You want to start collaborating with other people, right? Because
Yes,
in this journey as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, you cannot do this by yourself.
exactly.
You absolutely, you can't. One of the
Build
other
a team.
tools
Build a team.
one of the other things that I was mentioning to another colleague of mine is that LinkedIn is an amazing and incredible resource. I've got people that are reaching out to me through LinkedIn, asking me to collaborate with them, asking me to coach them. Some people want group coaching, some people want one-on-one coaching. So you really want to use that tool. LinkedIn, people on LinkedIn, they already know they have money to spend. But I think a
Exactly.
lot of people really sleep. I think a lot of people are really sleeping on LinkedIn. These are business professionals. They're used to spending money for education. And so this is a great time. If you've got an idea and you've just been sitting on it because you're scared, you ought to be scared not to launch whatever
Exactly.
that idea is, because you could really be letting thousands of dollars just go by the wayside because you're scared to launch out. And the other thing you can do, one quick actionable step, if you don't have the answer, reach out for help.
Okay.
I'm
Now let's
sorry,
back
but
up.
I
Let me
reach
just
out for help.
recap
Okay.
where you are. So we'll say number one point is examine where you are.
Find out where, locate
Take
yourself.
inventory of your skill set, of your mindset, of your creative talent, intellectual property, and then
Absolutely.
launch either your own business, your own consulting service. There are many ways that you can go about it, and then reach out for assistance.
Absolutely.
LinkedIn as a resource. There's lots of tools. Bridget is one. I am one. There's several people that we can also refer. So we're going to build
Absolutely.
up our resources and our connections. We're going to get reconnected. I think when people are working on 9 to 5s, they sometimes forget about this end of it. So we still are a brand. You are a brand by yourself. Now we need
Absolutely.
to start branding ourselves. So we are top of mind, right? So
Absolutely.
what is the next point?
One of the next points is you really want to go back and, for example, I want to talk about Facebook for a moment. I want to talk about Instagram. I mean, I did research. There are over 858 million. Hear what I'm saying? There are over 858 million users every day that are on Instagram. And guess what? That means that there's someone on there who's willing to buy your product, or you can sell a product to, or you can get something from them. You guys may want to cross-pollinate. You guys may want to cross-promote, right? So for example, I do a lot of cross-promotion with individuals who are on my Instagram page. For example, we have some what's called a squad. So for example, let's just say that on Monday, which is the 18th, we decide that we're going to do a 30-minute business blitz. We want to talk about the top 3 things that you need to know as a
Right.
business owner. And we're all going to meet up on Instagram, right? My coach, King Ashley Ann, my coach, Christy Jackson out of Houston, my coach, the six-figure chick, Cece out of North Carolina, my coach, Patrice Washington, who is in Atlanta, Georgia, where everybody will come online, right? Everybody will come online. They will give like their 2 or 3 top things that you should be doing like right now in order to keep yourself afloat in this, what I call this virtual economy,
I
right?
like it.
That's
Yes.
really, really important. And so as those individuals are shouting you out, those individuals, let's say Patrice has over 71,000 fans on Instagram, and these are all earned followers. A six-figure chick has over 600,000 fans. Christy Jackson probably has 100,000 fans. And can you imagine how many eyeballs are on your website, how many eyeballs are on your landing page? So again, you want to collaborate, and then you want to try affiliating yourself with other like-minded individuals. That's really, really important.
I love it. So those are key nuggets that she just dropped. And so let me just back up, Bridget. Can you share your Instagram, Facebook handles, and where people can reach you and follow you?
Absolutely. I am known all over social media as the Bounce Back Coach and Reinvention Strategist. My name on Instagram is at Bridget Speaks, BridgetSpeaks. It's the same thing on Twitter, is at Bridget Speaks. And my website is thebouncebackcoach.net. And there you will find a host of courses, classes, tips, tools, a whole bunch of strategies. If you guys want to have a one-on-one with me, you're welcome to do that. Even before you even book a session with me, I first of all want to talk with you to make sure that I have exactly what you need in order to support you. And if I don't,
Right.
I'll be more than happy to transition and pass you off to a colleague, because our goal is to really help you and support you in your own bounce back.
I love it. I love the name Bounce Back. I am personally known as a bounce back queen. Things I've gone through, it's like from death to life. It's like it don't get any better. God's love it surrounds me, and I use every tool, every trick of the trade. I mean, I'm not letting nothing go. So as I hear of different things, I'll say, okay, Bridget, here's somebody that, may need your services. So did you give them your website?
You can also go to just BridgetteLewis.com, and I have a free little gift for you. So it's actually the bounce back quiz. If you opt into my website, I want you guys to take the quiz. And here's what it's going to let me know. It's going to let me know where you need to bounce back from based on the questions that you actually answered. It's just a free gift to you. I'll reach out to you, and then we can have a quick little 15-minute conversation. You can say, yes, I need your support and your help, or no, it's really good. Thanks for allowing me to take that quiz. So that's something that's really important that your listeners may want to decide they want to use, this to take the bounce back quiz.
Okay. Well, you have given us some really juicy nuggets. I have a question that I think people will definitely want to take notes on. So what takeaways do you recommend for anyone that has lost hope, defeated, unsure of where to go next? What's the next?
What the next in, if you have no support, you have got to believe in yourself, period. There is something that you can do better than anybody else around you. There's something that, God has given all of us a gift. You have at least one. Some people have like 4 or 5, which sometimes makes it very difficult to decide which direction you got to go in. But you've got to believe in yourself when nobody else does. And
you have to, you
must believe in yourself.
Believe in yourself.
You have to believe
Number 1
in yourself. You have to.
That's a must. That's absolutely a must. Yeah. Okay. And then where can they find your book, From Pitfalls to Purpose?
Oh my goodness. I'm so glad you brought that up. And here is my book. Right here, this is my personal copy. My book is available everywhere at all national retailers. This is actually the paperback book, and look, it's all flipped up and everything when I'm doing my readings. If you go to Amazon.com, From Pitfalls to Purpose is available there. I'm a best-selling author through Amazon. I'm so excited.
Yay.
It's available on Kindle. I also have a hardcover copy. I also have a hardcover copy as well. So Barnes & Noble's, Amazon.com, and if you want an autographed copy, I can autograph it for you, and then we have the hardcover. I was going to get up and get it, but I won't. And then too, I want to do a little something special for you. Right here on the front page, there is a author's autograph page, and so I will autograph it specifically and especially for you. It's a little something I did a little special. Yeah, so
that's awesome. I'm so glad I have a personalized copy that I refer to it, but your story is amazing.
Thank you.
I'm just wishing you much success in the bounce back, the whole trilogy, the book, the journal, everything that you have come in, let God bless it. And we're just gonna ask for multiplications of income streams. Several income streams. And I think that's really what I would want the listeners to take away today, that you too can have several streams of income. Just allow God to speak to your soul, your spirit, and direct you. So I want to call this our inspirational moment. And I'm reminded of Romans 8:38. I used to really love this scripture. It just gave me life. And today I realized that I'm speaking life. I
Yes.
speak every day. I speak life to myself. I speak life to my children. I speak life to everyone that is connected to me. So it says, for I am persuaded, I am fully persuaded that
Yes.
neither death nor life, nor angels, nor principalities, nor powers, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of God, which is in Jesus Christ our Lord. So we're just going to inspire you today with a little love. I want you all to stay tuned for our next coming episode with our guest speaker, Dwayne Hall, who will talk about the power of your thoughts. As always, make this time count and be inspired by love. Bye-bye.
Thank you for tuning in to Inspired by Love. Join us every Wednesday for the juice to be inspired. Like, follow, and share this podcast. Be sure to leave a positive rating